Welcome back. We're looking at the forest fire that's near the Watchtower Headquarters. We ran a video on it. It was very vague. It was breaking news yesterday. Well, we have more information today, and this situation is much more serious for Watchtower than I thought originally. So let's take a look at some of this right now and see what it says. We did get some comments here. I'm just looking from the channel members. One of the channel members says, I was at Brooklyn Assembly today with a branch rep from Wallkill. That was yesterday. Not a peep about this. It goes on to say, I think the fire crossed over from New Jersey to New York just today. Watching Watchtower caught my attention tonight. Over 40 separate wildfires in New Jersey this month. And the red map, now this is from the original Water Baby. That's who gave us this article here. The original Water Baby. They lived there, and they said that the red map that I showed is the whole state of New Jersey in fire alert mode, I guess, but not all on fire. The smoke from the South Jersey fire woke us up in Brooklyn late Friday night at about 3 a.m. Saturday. It was so bad coming in our windows. And the fire nearest Bethel is apparently the Sterling Forest, New York fire, which is a spillover from the Morris County, New Jersey fire, and as of someone today, I believe. And one of the South Jersey fires is now thought to have been started by a flame spark producing weapon, fired improperly, illegally, at a firing range. The man who did this is now in custody. And it is reported that one young man has died, only 18 years old, fighting the Morris County fire in New Jersey. And 2 fires also broke out this Friday and Saturday in Brooklyn in the Prospect Park, which is similar in size and fame to the Central Park, Manhattan. Totally looks like arson IMO. Well, thanks for that, Water Baby. That was an excellent report. We're going to take a look. There's some more stuff out, but I want to pull us next into the Jehovah's Witness site. I went to the Jehovah's Witness news. There's nothing at all. The fire is 5 minutes away from Bethel, from Watchtower Headquarters, but they're reporting nothing on it. Here's what we have found. We found that the Sterling Forest, if you know this area, this is Watchtower area. This is a fire right here between this. You see below me there, the what's that lake called? Greenwood Lake. So that's what they're going to talk about is Greenwood Lake. And Warwick is just over here. I'll blow it up below me there. So you see Warwick right here where my thing is pointing. That's Bethel. You can drive Warwick all the way over to, now the thing is, you see where that flame is? That's where the fire is. This is where the fire is. Now, you see the world headquarters? It shows it right there. The world headquarters is right here. And the fire's right here. It's probably 10 minutes away because you can drive the road all the way around to Warwick in 30 minutes. You can go from here. We put the tracer in and it says 30 minutes to come all the way down to the Watchtower Headquarters. So the Watchtower Headquarters is right here. And the fire is here. If you were to go the way a crow flies, that fire's 10 minutes away. It's not far. Now, we pulled up Google Maps here just so you can take a look at it here. And this is where Bethel is. You see the red dot below me there? That's Bethel. That's the Watchtower Headquarters right here. That's what it looks like. So the fire is close. You see, they don't have much of a fire berm around this, but the fire is right over here. It's right in this area here, the fire. Okay, so you can see the lake there. The fire is right in the middle here, and here's Bethel Watchtower. Now let's go back to this map, this fire map. I'll link this to the video below. But it shows the lake, the fire is here, and Watchtower is here. It's close to Watchtower. I am so surprised that Watchtower's not talking about this. Now, let's go over to a news article and let's see what they're saying. And this is a new news article right from Warwick. Okay, so this is a news broadcast, CBS New York, breaking news. It's 17 minutes long. I'm just going to let it play. They're talking about Warwick. Let's see if Watchtower is on the front lines in Warwick helping out, or is Watchtower even mentioned? Let's see what happens with this news article.
Jennings Creek fire is only 10% contained at this hour and has claimed a life. The New York State Parks Department is giving an update on the current situation and also sharing future expectations. Let's listen in.
I have 20% containment on the fire. 10 of that is in New York and 10 of that is in New Jersey. Assets currently assigned to this fire, we have 33 5-person hand crews, 5 engines, 4 water tankers, 6 helicopters, and we have about 230 personnel in the field. With that, I will go to Pete.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Srigliano, Commissioner for Orange County Emergency Services. I just want to touch on a couple things. First and foremost, I want to thank all of the first responders that have came to the event here in Greenwood Lake and town of Warwick to help control this fire to the best of our abilities. The outpouring support that we have received from our neighboring counties and all of the fire departments within Orange County has been tremendous. Just to touch on the operations from last night, we did have a voluntary evacuation that took place on Cliff Road, which is off of East Shore Road. 12 homeowners evacuated their residence, and luckily we were able to contain the fire, no structural damage to any of those homes on Cliff Road. The American Red Cross has established a temporary location on Waterstone, 51 Waterstone Road in the village of Greenwood Lake. It's the community center. We have 6,000 gallons of potable water, along with N95 masks that are available to the public if needed. The last thing I would like to touch on is the remaining power outages that we have is 12, which is only on Cliff Road. We hope to have those restored at some point today, but we're going to be following up with Orange and Rockland on power restoration. Other than that, I would like to turn it over to the County Executive, Steve Newhouse, for his comments.
Thank you, Pete. I just want to thank everybody. We were here on Saturday night, in particular Commissioner Sirigliano and Deputy Commissioner Tancaselli. We unfortunately had a fatality with Mr. Vasquez. It was a very tough situation. The New York State Police, the town of Warwick Police, and the Sheriff's Office did a phenomenal job at the scene, as well as grief counselors. It was a very emotional situation. Yesterday, obviously, we had a very difficult day with the fire making a major advance, and we had a very fluid situation with the volunteer fire departments backing up the state forest firefighters. We really were able to save every house there. We had no problems from any of the residents that were asked to evacuate. They knew what was coming. You could see it. You guys have seen the videos. It was a very dangerous situation. The Deputy Commissioner for Homeland Security came in last night. Commissioner Srigliano and I personally brought him up to the scene so he could see what was going on, so he could ask Albany to bring in more resources. The mayor of Greenwood Lake and the town supervisor will be coming up after me. We've been working seamlessly to make sure that the community is protected. The outcome, the outpouring of support from the residents and businesses have been phenomenal. We have a lot of men and women that are working hard. And that food and drinks and the different supplies that they bought has made a difference to them. So we are going to get through this. Right now, we are happy that the wind direction has changed so we can take a breath and get back to work, which we've been doing. You see the air operations functioning right now. One other thing we wanted to announce is that there will be a 2-hour delay tomorrow in the Greenwood Lakes School District for the middle school. And we have the superintendent here. to take questions after that. But I'd like to turn it over to my friend, the town supervisor, Jesse Dwyer.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive, and thank you for all your support that you've brought here from the Orange County Department of Emergency Management. Let's make no mistake, this is one of the worst natural disasters the town of Warwick has seen in many, many years. And if things turn south, the threat to life and the threat to property could really take a turn for the worse. And we're so grateful for the park rangers, the DEC, the support that we've gotten from the state police, but more importantly from the local responders here in the town of Warwick, as well as all throughout the state of New York. This morning we had a briefing with, I would estimate, over 300 local volunteer agencies and servicemen and women who have come here to the town of Warwick to help us protect our park, protect our homes, and protect the lives of the residents in the town of Warwick. And we're forever grateful for their commitment to community service and what they've brought here to the town of Warwick. The Warwick Police Department has been leading the effort to keep traffic control and to make sure that all of our residents are informed and stay safe and can get in and out of their homes safely, and we appreciate their hard work, as well as the partners from the Orange County Sheriff's Office and the State Police, as well as the Greenwood Lake Police Department. Everybody's been working and collaborating almost seamlessly under these extremely difficult circumstances that we've been dealing with here recently. Roads are open within the area. They're only open to local traffic. If you need to get in or out of your home, you can do so. We ask that nobody travels this road to work in the morning. Choose an alternate path. We are keeping the road slightly open, but we ask you to drive very carefully in the area, as firefighters are actively managing the scene and they are out in the roadways often. So if you're going to travel the road, please be careful when you do that. And with that, I'd like to introduce Greenwood Lake Mayor Tom Howley, who's been a great partner in the efforts to handle this situation. Tom?
Thank you, Supervisor Dwyer. First of all, in my over 50 years of living here, this has been the most significant and probably most potentially dangerous situation I've seen or been involved in. The village of Greenwood Lake is a small village by standards. I am certainly overwhelmed, truly overwhelmed by the amount of help that came our way. When I got here this morning, I saw fire trucks from Oneonta, some of them might be close to Syracuse, that traveled throughout the night because the severity of this storm, of this fire, could change at a moment's notice. I'm so happy and content. County Executive Newhouse, with the services and the professional team of coordinators that he sends to Greenwood Lake whenever we have a situation like this. I can't thank him enough. The people of Greenwood Lake are overwhelmed. Our restaurants, the people who provide us with provisions, like was said a few seconds ago, it keeps the firefighters moving, keeps them fed and thirsty. I can't thank you enough. And God bless everyone, and God bless America. Thank you.
At this point in time, we'll take any questions. We'll start on this side, and we'll kind of work our way around. Anybody over here? Question?
I just want to verify the acreage, because over the weekend it was like roughly 2,000, so now we're talking 5,000 acres. How did we get here, and is it part of your operation that it's enlarged by so much?
The acreage is 5,000 acres. We did a recon. Initially, the fire was too dangerous to get close to it, get an acreage. We actually flew it this morning, so that is a number a good approximation of what we have right now. The only way to truly get a good acreage is to have somebody walk that fire line, and right now that's too dangerous, and we don't want to put people at risk to do that.
And one quick follow-up. Winds are going to ramp up tonight, especially into tomorrow. So what is the plan of attack moving forward? Biggest concerns for you?
So what happened yesterday, what happened over the weekend, we got a major push from the south wind, right? So that pushes the fire into New York, right? That's happened for a couple days now. Starting today, we're starting to get that west wind, which is good. It's going to push it away from the Greenwood Lake community. Tomorrow, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, it's going north, north, north. So the fire's going to be pushing away from this community. That's a good thing. Okay, so we currently have the East Shore communities protected right now. And then on the Tuxedo side, we have the Blue Lake communities protected. We got good black up to those communities. And now we just got to come across the north here and find a good place in this very steep and hazardous terrain to put a line that we can hold. That's our plan moving forward. And the weather's with us. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be very windy. Forecast right now is 20 mile an hour gusts, 20 miles steady with gusts of 30. Right now, that's just at the limit of when our helicopters can fly. Our hope is that it doesn't get any worse than that, so we can still use our air assets tomorrow. Next question.
Over here.
Yes.
You say that the fire is 20% contained, but how many people are in harm's way?
So East Shore community, we estimated about 170 structures that we were able to save last night. Over in Blue Lake, we're talking about maybe 40 structures, which includes private residents as well as businesses.
But so much of this is also in protected forests where there aren't a lot of people. Can you give us some perspective as to how many people this could impact?
I don't know the population areas just to the north here. I can't comment on that.
The region did see some rain overnight. Did that do anything?
Yeah, so let's talk about the weather. We're in this is pretty rare that we have a drought going this far into the fall. Probably haven't seen a drought in this in, like the mayor said, and he hadn't seen anything like this in 50 years. Like, we'll put this in perspective. Last season, from October 1st to the current day, New York State Forest Rangers responded to 9 fires for 18 acres, right? This year, we responded to 61 fires for almost 3,400 acres. You know, 6-fold number of fires and a vast increase, geometrical increase in the number of acreage, and mostly because of this large fire. We haven't had really good rain. Like, so last night we got a 1/4 inch of rain. That's kind of what we call appreciable rain. So it just gave us a little breather for our resources to get some rest. These local resources have been running and gunning since Saturday when this thing really blew up. Today gives us a little time to take a little breather, but tomorrow the winds come back. Yeah, it's been, from where I'm at in Suffolk County, we received maybe a 1/2 inch of rain in the last 10 weeks, where we should have had about 12 inches. That's how dry it is. So what does that do to our firefighting efforts? Basically, the first 5 inches of that duff, you know, that beneath the surface, leaf litter that falls off the trees, that stuff is bone dry, right? So right now, you get a little bit of rain, it puts that surface fire out, but if it's in the duff, it's going to stay there. It's going to smolder like a cigar until it gets dry enough, and then that fire can pop up again. And that's probably what we're going to see later this afternoon and in tomorrow when it starts going again.
Can you speak to the need for residents to heed the warnings and the restrictions that are in place?
I'll go to OEM on that.
The county executive, actually on Friday of last week, renewed the burn ban that we currently have in effect in Orange County. And to the incident commander's point, Brian's point, it's crucial that they heed those warnings of the burn ban. And we've been touting that for the last 10 days or so, how crucial it is to not have the unnecessary bans. I can't stress that enough.
We don't need any more work right now. We've been running for the past 30 days. We currently have about 15 fires right now that we are working in the lower Hudson Valley and the rest of the state. And, you know, we're getting tired. We're getting tired. So don't create any new fires. Don't create any new incidents for us to deal with. That's the best we can ask for the public.
To that end, Brian, with the outpouring of the support that you've received from near and far, bottom line, do you have enough manpower?
I think we're thin right now. We're protecting the structures that we need to protect, and that we'll see what happens in the coming days. We still have more resources coming in. There are some fires that are starting to get into a controlled status, and we're going to start receiving some of the assets from those fires on this fire.
So do you anticipate that this fire is going to get worse and larger?
It will get a little larger. Some of the things we do when we fight these fires is we fight fire with fire. We'll pick a trail that we can hold, set some backfire. So some of the fire will grow because of some of the efforts that we do out in the field, and some will grow because of the way the wind is pushing the fire.
Brian, could you educate us a little bit, because we mourn with you regarding the loss of one of your colleagues, an 18-year-old who was barely out of high school who perished while doing his volunteer work. It does raise the question of what kind of training do young teenagers get before they're thrust into a job like this to make sure they know where to go, where not to go, what to do, and what not to do?
So our basic firefighter training is it's a federal wildland course. It's nationally certified. That's 40 hours of training. That includes classroom time as well as time in the field. We try to do, this is a very dangerous profession. This is a very dangerous incident that we have here. And we try to do the best thing to mitigate as much of those hazards as we can. You know, we don't go into these willy-nilly. We try to think about and measure the risks that are there, right, versus the values at risk, right? Biggest value at risk right now, like last night, was those communities, right? Our priority is always life safety. And for us, that includes our boots on the ground. We want to send our firefighters home at the end of the day, right? And then property comes next. So it's always life safety first, then property. And we do the best we can with the resources we have on hand.
Could you talk a little bit more about the terrain that you're dealing with and what makes it so challenging?
Yeah, so what's so challenging here is we see the hills right here, right? Fairly steep. It gets steeper when you go over that ridge. And it's also super rocky. Like we've got 3 dozers on scene right now. And there's very limited place that our dozers can get to and actually put some really wide control line in for us. Most of our efforts is going to be hand line, people hiking in with hand tools to make the fire lines that we need to try and contain this. You just can't put a dozer area on because then, it's managing that risk, right? Like this, we don't want to put our dozer operators at risk, especially when there's a large fire right next to it. We don't have a cause. We know the origin and where it started. It started near the intersection of the Lake to Lake Trail and the West Valley Trail. Because we still have an active fire that's still going, it's unsafe to put our wildland fire investigators in there to start doing the cause and origin investigation, but when that happens, we will. This fire started in New York and then moved into Jersey. Now it's over the state border.
And just to be clear, there's no mandatory evacuation in either state. And is there you mentioned a little over 100 structures in total that were safe, but are any still threatened at this hour?
Not currently. Not currently.
Where is the line that you are going to seek out and try and hold?
It's pretty much we're looking at it right now. You know, what we try to do is we try to take the path of least resistance. If we got to climb up a hill like this and put line in, we're not going to do that. We're going to try to go on this side of the hill where it goes down or that side of the hill. So that's what our operations people in the field are assessing today while we get this little breather, this little break, is to figure out where our next control lines will be.
Thank you for all you guys are doing.
Anybody else? All right, thanks for your time, folks.
Thank you.
Brian Gallagher.
Breaking news.
Well, there you have it. That's the ground zero report right from Warwick. And for those of you who are not familiar with Bethel, again, Bethel is right in the middle. Here's Bethel, right here, the administration offices. And here's the fire map. It shows the fires right here, right in the middle, and Watchtower Headquarters is right here. You see it light up right below me, Watchtower Headquarters. The way a crow flies, it's about 10 minutes if that fire came in the right direction. You can see Watchtower's right there. You can drive from Watchtower Headquarters all the way on 84. We Google mapped it. And you get to Warwick in 30 minutes. So Warwick's over here. See, there's the town of Warwick. And we hear a lot about the town of Warwick. This is the home spot for Bethel. You always come to Warwick. So there's a few things you'll notice. It likes to do that. It wants to finish this up. and we're just about done. Okay, so the town of Warwick is the hot spot for Bethel, if anybody knows that. So what I was looking at, Bethel does have firefighters, volunteer firefighters, trained firefighters on site. They have firefighting equipment and everything. So it'll be interesting to see when this all wraps up if Watchtower does a big report. Maybe they did have volunteers in, and they're going to do a big video on it because this is the biggest disaster in 50 years that has hit this area. A huge disaster. And you'd think it would be on Bethel's Watchtower's website, telling everyone, "Hey, don't visit us. There's a forest fire. Cancel all your tours." You'd think they have a big announcement, but no, they're silent. Why? This is what's interesting about this organization. Okay, folks. Well, that's the latest on this forest fire. It is close to Bethel, and so far we have not heard a peep out of Bethel. But the local people have given a really excellent report on how big this fire really is and how hard it is to manage. Okay, folks, well, that's the latest. We'll keep you posted if anything new comes up. And until next time, keep living your life with love. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.